Hi there. I think we all know by now that the singer Michael Jackson has not so much shuffled as moonwalked off this mortal coil. Well, I made a video about that earlier today, and I think it's safe to say that the feelings have been hurt, the response has been kind of shocking, and I've given this some thought and come to the conclusion that this may be one of those rare occasions when an apology is in order. But before I get to that, I wanted to point out one thing. I think we all will remember Michael Jackson in different ways. Some of us will remember him as the king of pop, some kind of transformational pop singer. Others may remember him as a freakish man-child who lived on a fun fair and owned the skeleton of the Elephant Man and liked to dangle babies off of balconies. Either way, whichever camp you fall in, I think we can all agree on one thing, and that thing is, if Michael Jackson stood for anything, it was, of course, pajama parties. But more than that, Michael Jackson stood for more than pajama parties. He stood for pajama parties and monkey ownership. But more than that, Michael Jackson stood for pajama parties, monkey ownership, and above all, tolerance. That's right, tolerance. This is, after all, the man who sang, "It doesn't matter if you're black or white or black, then a bit whiter, and then a bit whiter, and then progressively whiter until you're completely white." So he knew a thing or two about tolerance. And I think if Michael Jackson was here today, well, firstly, it would be like a completely unnecessary remake of the Thriller video, what with the whole zombie thing and all. But other than that, I think Michael would say, Mark, but I can't do the voice and I'm not going to do the voice. He would say, Mark, what people don't seem to realise is that you're Scottish. And I'd say, that's right, Michael, I'm Scottish. I have been living in America a long time, but I am Scottish. And Michael Jackson would say, Mark, I think you were responding in a entirely culturally appropriate manner based on your own cultural upbringing. To some degree, anytime you're joking about anyone dying, you're ultimately laughing in the face of the great cosmic joke of our own universal mortality. And you were doing that in a way that was totally consistent with your cultural upbringing, and it's kind of shocking and disturbing that people would somehow attack you for that, leave comments unsubscribing, attacking you for representing your culture in a way it's almost kind of racist. And I'd say, well, you're right, Michael, it is kind of racist, the way people have attacked me over this video and the lack of sensitivity that people have shown to my cultural self-expression. And I think Michael would say, yeah, absolutely, Mark. He may also point out that the joke also seemed to be a little bit about his propensity for sleepovers, and I'd have to say, yes, Michael, there was a little bit of that in it too. A little bit laughing at the face of the grand cosmic joke, and then also maybe a little bit of fun at the expense of your ongoing no longer ongoing, your former enthusiasm for pajama parties. And I think at that point, hypothetical zombie Michael Jackson would probably say, Mark, I want to apologise on behalf of all of the people who misconstrued your comments as anything other than cultural self-expression. And I would be like, nice one, Michael, nice one. So there you have it, folks, and I don't really have a good ending to this, but if hypothetical zombie Michael Jackson says it's okay for me to make fun of him having a heart attack, then I think it's okay for me to make fun of Michael Jackson having a heart attack. And I'm sure if he was here now, we would shake hands, probably the gloved hand, I'm not sure which. We would shake hands, and then hopefully I would somehow blow his brains out, because he is, after all, a zombie. And when it comes down to it, in a zombie person situation, it's you're the zombie. And in that kind of situation, I take me over the zombie, even if the zombie is hypothetical zombie Michael Jackson. So that's all I have to say. Let's all move on and/or continuing to have fun at the expense of the late great hypothetical zombie Michael Jackson. See you all next time. Cheers.